gonna help you to be the leader you want to be. This is what it's about. And first of all, let me introduce Mario, who allow us to have this presentation at his location.
Okay, I say thank you, Jose, thank you for coming to this presentation. So around the London we see, and thank you guys. How you coming here today? I started the meeting pretty soon. The people want to come here to the meeting. We waiting for you guys. So bueno, buenas tardes. Gracias Jose por haber venido aquí a mi lugar, aquí a Roy Spa Nutrition. Esperamos la gente que llegue aquí, los que van a venir a la presentación, y aquí vamos a estar una hora, 2 horas esperándolos. Gracias.
Okay, so let's get started. First of all, I have a question for you guys. Who has quit a previous job because of your boss? Raise your hand, please.
Who has a previous job?
Who has quit a job because of your boss?
Oh, I have it.
I have.
Okay. So around 60% of the people who leaves their work, who quit their job, is because of the boss. It's because of them.
I do know of some people who my coworkers who quit because of their boss.
Yes. Yes, so the majority, when they leave because of the boss, not because of the money, not because of what they do, or mostly of the team players, right? It's just because of the boss. So the thing is, what are the consequences of this keep happening, this employee turnover? First of all, customer service. Your customer service is not consistent. Secondly, you cause stress around your staff. Thirdly, how much resources are you wasting? We're talking about products, we're talking about money and time. So I decided to follow this leadership profession in this presentation because I really see the need for leaders to actually, or bosses actually, transfer to leaders so they can create the team they want to have. Because if you do that, people will want to work with you. And as a result, you can have better customer service, you can be able to have a business more profitable, and maybe free yourself from the business. Because the business own them, not they own the business. Meaning they are stuck most of the time in the business. Do we agree on that?
Yeah, they're stuck in the business. They're not actually enjoying the business. It seems like more drudgery than enjoyment. It's not like happy living. It's just like work that they're stuck with.
Not a passion, it's a daily grind.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's a daily grind. So, and actually I was having a conversation yesterday with somebody that he said he was a manager for 24 years. And he quit, and now he's working as a cook. And I'm like, what happened? Why did you quit being a manager? And he said because of COVID. And I understand because for many of us, COVID changed our lives. But why to go back on the things that you say you like to do? And he says because it's very stressful. And we are here in Chicago right now. In Chicago, many people think there is a problem, right? That we're having a lot of more immigrants right now. There is a new generations of people working. It's not the same as it used to be. So they don't see the possibility for new employees to adapt to the work environment. And that's because the problem is, right, we keep wanting to manage people how it used to be. And that doesn't work anymore. I gotta tell you, that doesn't work anymore. Because the only thing you're doing is just, I'm sorry to say that, but you're killing yourself, you're killing your business. And you are stressing out the stuff around you. So, my name is Jose Luis Morales, okay? And I am a neuroencoding specialist, mentor, coach, and presenter. What I do is I help people, individuals, and teams in their business to get the best of themselves so they can actually enjoy what they do, get the results that they want. And the bottom line of what I'm doing is to be able to create an impact in our communities, wherever you are. Because I believe the business is more than just make money. Yes, many choose the path because we want more money, and that is okay because we all want more money, bottom line, right? We all want better life. But besides that, there is something else that we're trying to create a better quality of life for our families, customers, and the communities. I am an immigrant from Oaxaca, Mexico. I immigrated here at the age of 15, and I ended up living by myself at the age of 16. It has been rough. It has been rough for many years, especially when you go through the stage of trying to discover yourself, who you are, changing different jobs. And that's what it took me to understand where I am right now is a perfect space spot because I have learned to understand people's behavior. Why do we do what we do? Why your staff cannot understand you what you're trying to communicate with them? Why they're not following the rules? My whole journey has been learning, and finally, for last 3 years, I have immersed myself in understanding the human psychology. Now I'm certified by Joseph McClelland as a coach and presenter. And I also have taken a Leadership Academy by Tony Robbins, one of the biggest mentors in the whole world. He has over 105 businesses. How the heck that he gets to manage that many businesses? I get sure just to think about it, like how the heck he gets to manage 105 businesses, different kinds of businesses. And as he said, it's not just the strategy, it's the psychology, it's how we think, it's what we think about people, it's what we think about ourselves, it's what you think about your employees, it's what you think about your customers. That's what it is. So, as a leader, the first thing I want you to understand is that the first one that you need to lead is yourself. It's the first thing that I want you to understand. Because you cannot influence others if you're not able to lead yourself. It's the first thing that I really need you to understand. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my background as a leader. My last job, okay? I had 25 employees under my management. And yes, the transition where I started, I had no experience before that. I did have experience working in a restaurant industry for 20 years around the time. But I always wanted to be a manager and become an owner at some point. But when I had the opportunity to become a manager, I started realizing some patterns. The first one was how employees adapt to the manager, to the leader. They adapt. That doesn't mean they're gonna stay with you, but they try to adapt to you. So, yes, when I started, 3 of my staff, they left. But also let's take in consideration that had to do with COVID, because that was when COVID hit. So there was a lot of stuff going on. After that, I hired new staff. And in 2023, my top manager came and told me, Jose, did you know that this year we only changed 2 names? I was like, what? Yeah. This year we only changed 2 names. He's like, what happened? I'm like, you see, Michael? So yes, I was able to retain 23 employees. And one of them left because of better opportunity. And this is what I'm here for. I'm here as a leader to help others grow, so we can all grow together. And another person just didn't fit in my group. And listen, your business, your community, wherever you have, it's not for everybody. But you are gonna be attracting the kind of people you are. So I was okay with it. When the person didn't fit, I tried to make it work, it didn't happen, I'm okay with it. So I know for sure, because I heard it over and over and over again. Employers want to hire the best employees. They want to have the best employees. They do. They want the ones they think, as this is my business and I'm gonna take care of it, I'm gonna do everything because I only work here, but this is my business, I work. They want the ones that come early and want to stay late. They want to respect each other. They want to extend their hands to their co-workers. They also want to have the best customer service. And as mentioned to you before, you're gonna have the best customer service if you have consistency in your employees. If you do not keep retraining the staff. Maybe, like I mentioned, you want to free yourself from your business. You want to be able to enjoy your family. Maybe you want to expand. You want to open more locations. Maybe. How's the level of stress? How much stress is in your business? How much drama? How does that affect your health? How does that affect the health of your employees? How is that affecting your relationship? Because many things, the job stays in the job and the family problems stays at home. I got a surprise for you. There are only few people who are able to manage those emotions. And those are the ones that are trained to be leaders. They learn how to separate emotions and use different identities. Most of the employees, they don't know. They don't. And it's our job to kind of help them to feel connected with us and work, so they can feel free to communicate and maybe extend some hand to them so they can feel comfortable and open and willing to work. But I have a surprise for you. Are you ready to hear the surprise?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you, issue 4. If you don't have the employees that you want to have, if you don't have the results that you want to have, there's nobody else to blame besides yourself. Because as I mentioned to you, the leader is the one who is the head of the business. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know where you're going, if you don't respect your staff, if you don't have compassion for your staff, if you're not loving what you're doing, how do you expect your teams to be? They're already reflecting who you are. But at the same time, I don't blame you. I do not blame you, because what I have learned, and I did go to college when I was an adult at the age of 25, and I did studies associated in business administrations, and I did took some business classes. but they hardly ever teach you human behaviors. They teach you how to create your product, how to market your product, how to sell. But we forget one of the main keys. And to me, it's kind of the most important thing after your product. Many things is your customers. Yes, customers are really important because they are the ones that pay us, they are the ones that help us survive. But are they really the most important thing in your business? If you are your own boss and you got 2-3 employees working with you, maybe. But if you have different locations and you're not at the location all the time, your staff is the one who is supposed to be the most important thing for you because they are the one that put the face on your business. They are the one that represent you. They are the one that sells your products. They are the one that create connections with your customers. They are the ones, not you. Not you. At the same time, you are the one who influence them and teach them how to be in your business. So, this is what I want you to understand. Is the differences between being a boss and being a leader. What a boss does, just tell you what to do. Just tell you what to do. And this is what it used to be before. That's how it used to be. You come here, I'm gonna give you a certain amount of money, and if you do more work, I give you more money. If you do more work, I give you more money. It's not working anymore. That is not working anymore. Yes?
Maybe it didn't work before too, because like you said, in when you take business classes, there's like you learn how to sell a product, you learn how to market, you learn how to put everything together, but you don't learn communication. And then that lack of communication has been around for a long time.
You're right. You're right. And what it has been creating awareness in business and communities now is because of social media. But people hasn't understand it to the level where they take action on the communication part. And there is something that I'm gonna talk about it in a little bit. So now a leader. A leader is something totally different. We all know that humans are incredible. And that we only use what, 3 to 5% of our intelligence. Have you asked yourself why? Because what I mentioned to you before. Because we keep hiring people to come and do the task, not to think. And the most powerful thing the human has is creativity.
Are you talking about decision making or like creativity?
I'm talking about creativity. If you're a leader, this when also is gonna come a decision. But if you're gonna hire somebody, because that's what I keep hearing, right? I don't understand why my dishwasher doesn't think for his own. Why doesn't he do something extra? It's because you just hire and you're talking what to do. That's what it is. You don't train them. Schools, colleges, they train you to become an employee. And I love when I hear kids when they say, I want to be an entrepreneur and I'm going to college to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in colleges. When entrepreneurship is totally different journey. Yes, it might be helpful, yes. But being able to create, you have to think out of the box. You have to think out of the box. So the job of a leader is to be able to provide tools that your staff needs. It's being able to create some space for them to think on their own and see how they can provide you more than what you hire for. How can you assign them some things where you can tell them, hey, can you help me with this? I'm not gonna teach you how to do it. Can you just maybe figure out how to do it so you can think?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you start opening their eyes for them. Hey, like maybe I'm capable of doing something else than just doing dishes. Maybe I'm capable of something else than just cut vegetables. But it's a leader who needs to see the person for who can be, not for who they are at the moment. That's the job of the leader, is to see people who they can become. And we know that most of us, we have the power of doing it. Something that is really important too is that we need to learn to observe. And this is one of the skills. Observe. Observe what they're good at it. Ask questions. Talk to them. Connect with them.
Try to find their potential.
That's how, yes, exactly. That's how we're gonna find the potential. Not just to hire them and put them in one spot and you need to be here. Because many of us, we're gonna learn the skill and we're gonna do it. And sometimes we manage in a good way, like they do a great job, but that doesn't mean there is the potential. So, yes, I don't know if you guys have seen this video, but if you have seen, I want you to remember of it, and I just love it. Every time I found it, I left of it, because there is a truck stuck on the river. And there's like a bunch of guys trying to get the truck out of the river, pushing it out of the river. It's like 19 guys like trying to push it so hard. And there is one guy on top of the truck, pushing from the top of the truck. I'm curious if one of your staff or you, the boss or the owner, whoever you are over there, the leader, if you're actually just creating more weight for your team to carry, than actually helping the business. Do you have the right people in your team? Is everybody actually creating value for the business? Are you getting out of the truck and many times get yourself dirty, get yourself in the water and push with them? You see, to be a leader is be an example. It's be an example. And you have to go first. You have to go first. You cannot wait for somebody else to take action. You cannot. So, are leaders born or made? It's kind of like $1 million question, right?
Are they women or men?
Are leaders
Sometimes born, sometimes
born or made?
Made. Made.
Made? What do you think?
Both.
Both, I think, but that's better.
There's
That's just a funny answer.
Funny answer.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not a cop out. It's actually, sometimes they're made, but being born with it helps a lot. Sometimes you could be born with it, but it depends on how you use what you were born with. So they are actually made this like much more of it, but if you're born with a little bit more intelligence, it helps a lot. That's all.
Okay, so 90% are made.
Mm-hmm.
90% are made. Only 10% are born.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is the 90% at some point of their life they get tired of something. So they make the decision. They take action. And they get tired of something and they say, okay, that's enough, I gotta start doing something on my own. But because we are made, we think it's just taking action, making a decision, and now just keep pushing it. And as I mentioned to you before, education is pretty good. Now, I'm not talking traditional education. I'm talking about self-development education. Learn to know yourself. Pick the skills that you need from people that have. You don't need to go pay thousands of dollars to a college, or maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars in a college, when you can just pick the skills from people, connect with people that have the skills, so they can give you what you need. This is kind of like open eye. When I started notice that, oh, so I don't need to go to college to be able to help others, to become better myself, to influence others. I can just learn them from somebody else. Yes, you can.
Well, book learning definitely is not enough, but sometimes when we're in school, then we have all these classmates and the teachers, the interactions. That in school, while we're doing that, it helps a lot. But definitely, I agree with you that book learning is never enough.
And that's why we have internships, so that they get actual experience with the job.
Mm-hmm. So yes, so now let's talk a little bit about the solution. Okay, let's talk about the solution. What I find out is that what I had to do is focus on the employee, personal. Take it personal with the employee. Because we cannot have good employees if we don't have good people with values, people that care for other people. And it worked for me, and I did research, and also it has been working for many companies that are actually creating companies that are in totally different level. Focus on your staff. Help them become better as a person. If you help them become a better human being, you don't have to worry about him becoming a good employee, because he already is. As I mentioned before, you just help them with their personal development a little bit. How can you help them? Be the coach, mentor, instructor, friend, and okay, I heard from some other people where they say, I'm not here to parenting. I already got my kids at home. I have a news for you. If you want to take the team to a different level, then somehow you need to parenting. Because you need to care so much, so much for your staff and your business, that you should be able to get out of your comfort zone. You should. When you are able to care at different level for your employees are gonna care at different level for you and your business. This is what I mentioned to you. Leader needs to go first. Always. We need to show them how we want them to be. Be always the example for them. Always. So, do you guys have any questions?
Not yet.
Okay. Let's talk about the skills, right? So, number one, let's talk about vision. If you don't have vision, a clear vision of your business, where you guys going, what is the culture, what are the values, the rest of your group, I'm not going to know what to do. it's gonna be hard for them to understand you what you're trying to do.
Set goals.
Set goals. Set yearly goals, monthly goals, weekly goals. Here is the key though. Make sure at some level your staff is involved in setting up those goals. Because that's how they're gonna get involved in getting the results. Because what many of us we do, we create those goals, those visions, right? And we bring it to our staff and here, you gotta do this. And we ask ourselves, why do I need to do that? We might don't tell you why, but we're asking ourselves, and yeah, we might try. But if we fail, it's your responsibility because you give it to us. Now, if you ask yourself, can you help me create my vision? Can you help me create my goals? They're gonna feel compromised to actually get it done because they know that they put work in there too. Now it's just not anymore about
They're
doing
part
the
of it.
test.
They're part of it. They got skin in the game.
Yes, you're exactly right. So now they're gonna have to do it.
For instance,
Yes.
let's say they're working in the kitchen and then everybody has their own task, like dishwasher and then the vegetable chopper. However, if they understand that the kitchen needs to flow efficiently in order to get everything done to make the best product for the customer, then they would understand that if there's a spill on the floor, then they'll have to address it, not just say what they have to do. They'll have to wipe, somehow clean up that spill so that their fellow employee doesn't like slip and fall or have an accident, so that the vision gets accomplished.
Mm-hmm. And this is really important when something that I'm gonna talk in a little bit, when they accomplish this goal to celebrate. Make sure you celebrate them. And this is something that I'm gonna talk to you in a little bit. Now, this is the one with a lot of people that I know, they fail in this. Work in your integrity as a leader. Make sure you work in integrity. What I mean by that? Make sure what you say that needs to be done, you are doing it. Like I mentioned to you, be respectful, have compassion, be on time if you're claiming for them to be on time. It is easier, it's gonna be easier for you to tell somebody, correct somebody, if you need to correct them, when you are doing the job. But many times we feel guilty of telling somebody to fix something, to do something, when we are not doing it. If you have integrity, and you can work on it, that's part of the discipline. That's part of the self-care, self-love, whatever you want to call it. You can work on it. That doesn't mean because you don't have it, you're not gonna be. You have some. And just being able to show it how you work with your staff. Now, compassion. Do you guys have any compassion for your staff? Many of us, we don't trust our team. We don't. And it's sad to see. It's sad how people don't trust their teams.
You gotta pick them.
And it has to do, like I mentioned, with you, because you're not trusting them. And at the same time, maybe it's not even them, maybe it's just yourself. Because you think it's hard for you to trust them, so that's why you believe that they cannot trust you. But this is why it's so important to have compassion and understand that we all have a story. We all have a story. I don't care if you were born in a millionaire family, you're gonna have a story to tell of your struggles. If you come like me from the bottom and go through a lot of stuff in your life, you also have a story. What your story has to do with being a leader and being an employee is that you need to understand that levels of emotions are different. You need to understand and be able to hear them, what they're trying to say, what they're trying to communicate, because if they didn't show up to work, maybe it's true that something is going on in the family. If they're coming up late to work, maybe they have a valid reason. If they're not 100% in their job, are you gonna be able to sit down with them and have a nice conversation with them? Is there something that I can do so I can help you? Instead of punishing them. We all are human beings here and we all have a story.
In other words, we all have had that time when we made mistakes and we didn't live up to expectations, and nobody's perfect, and especially we should understand that since we ourselves are not perfect, then we should try to help feel compassion for the employees and see what's going on.
Yes. You said exactly the right words, Curly. Nobody's perfect. And I understood that. When I understood that I'm not perfect, that I keep making mistakes, everything changed. Everything changed. And it's so funny because it's so easy for us to point our fingers without mistakes. Especially when we become a manager or with the boss now, whatever, right? It's easier to tell them, but why don't we start pointing our fingers this direction? Are we doing the right training? Are we taking the time to prepare them? You see, this kind of like the most important thing, being able to recognize that if I'm not where I want to be, if my staff is not where they want to be, we need to change first is what I need to change in myself, so they can get it, they can get the message that they need to get, so we can all work together towards our goal. Now, I know this is part of the personal development, but hear me on this. How is your level of energy? How do you show up to work? Because you cannot be a leader if your energy, you are down. You need to have the energy that when you get to work, people can notice you, that you are positive. Don't come with negative emotions to work, don't. Because you are the one who's gonna bring the energy into your business. And I don't know if you know, but everything is energy. This table, this plastic, the cup, water, myself, everything is energy. And you can notice it when somebody comes into the business with a bad energy. Employees notice it right away. The question I have for you right now here is that do your staff, your team, feels inspired when they see you because you get there and you know that things are gonna get done and things gonna be fun and we're gonna enjoy what we do, or they start working in eggshells. They start making mistakes because they know that you are looking for what is wrong, so you can punish them. What kind of manager, what kind of leader are you? What kind of boss are you? The ones that inspire, or the ones that instigate fear so you can move your stuff? Think about it. I want you to reflect a little bit about it. Communication. Communication is so important. You can have everything else, but if you don't know how to communicate and the importance of communication, everything goes to the garbage. And I don't know if you know, let me remind you that whatever I'm saying right now, or my words only counts for 14, 15%. My tonality, how I'm saying things, it's for like 30%, 35%. Meaning this, if I say, I love you, do you really believe me that I'm saying I love you,
I love you too.
right? Or instead of saying I love you, right? Can you please help me do that? Instead of, hey, Juan, can you please help me move these things over here, please? I need your help. There are differences. Now, your posture, your physiology, how you approach to them with authority, telling with your posture, I'm the boss and you're gonna do here whatever I say, or with good intentions. And actually being willing to tell them in a nice manners, I need your help. You see, something that I didn't know. I thought I just need to speak, open my mouth. And that goes for everything. That goes for your relationship, that goes for your friendships, that goes for your house, your work, for your team, for everywhere. And then I wondered why my relationship was so screwed when I always thought I was saying nice things to my wife, but my posture, my actions, and everything else wasn't there. And this is why, if you don't think you're a leader, if you're watching this video and just watching it for fun, if you have a kids, you're a leader. And you are influencing your kids, your wife, your partner, how to behave with you. Communication is a great skill to learn and to have. Practice how you approach to other people, how you talk, how is your tonality. There is a great skill that everybody needs it. Now, I don't know if you guys know about this Japanese Colombian guy, Yoko Kenji. Latino people will know him. He talks about Japan, right? We in America think that Latin America, we think the Japanese are so smart. And Japanese people think that Latinos are so smart. What is it? Who's the smartest? Are they or us? His conclusion is that it's the discipline. It's discipline. Japanese people has a lot of discipline, and that's why we think they're so smart, because they create more things, they do more things. Now Latinos or America, we don't have the much discipline. That's not my point that I want to talk about right here. My point is that Japanese people has a high rate of suicidal. It's one of the countries with the highest rate of suicidal because of their discipline, because they need to meet certain standards. It is tough. If you have too high standards in your business, make sure you have a margin of error. As Turi says here before, have some compassion, some error where they can fall. It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes, especially if you know that you want your team to grow. If you want your team to grow, if you want them to be better, if you want to create trust, you need to have some margin of error where they have a space to fall and not be punished. Because if you don't punish and they fall and they have the space, they want to keep trying and learn faster, learn more, do more. But if you're gonna be punishing them for every mistake they do, they're gonna stop trying. They are gonna stop trying. So now, who would like to be more optimistic? Right? We all need it. How hard it can be to be optimistic? How hard it can be? As simple as focus on the solution. Just see the problem as it is. It's all you have to do. Just see the problem as it is. Focus on the solution. Move on. Here are 3 questions that you're going to ask yourself when you go into a problem. Somebody didn't show up to work. What does it mean? This is the first question that should come to your mind. What does this mean? Somebody didn't show up to work. It's nothing on the work. What do I want? Do I need another person to cover? Am I okay? Should I check my staff? Are we cool running like this? What I need to do? Make a decision. That's it. Don't start creating a bunch of ideas in your head. Stop it. Stop creating a bunch of ideas. What is the problem? You don't know what happened to the person until the person shows up to work, until the person goes. Because when you start creating ideas, you start worrying about things, you start stressing out about things. If you just focus on the solution, you just keep moving on. And then you will find out later what is the problem. You will find out. And then you just make another decision. So being optimistic is not an option. It's not an option. I think it's good for you, it's good for your team. But it goes back, right, to being able to have the energy. As this energy drink that my friend Mario gave me over here, what is it?
Aloe and tea.
Aloe and tea?
Yes.
Aloe and tea.
It's got
It
energy.
tastes pretty good.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
it's supposed to help you with your energy and to get more air in your brain so you
Yeah.
can think better. So energy is great and you need it. Believe me. Understanding human psychology. We all ask, why did he do that? Why can he not understand it? Why can he not follow the rules? Right? We always ask these questions. And I want you to write down this. It has to do with the 6 human needs. And these are from Tony Robbins. Okay? Number 1, we all need some certainty. That means we need to feel safe at work. Is your staff feeling safe at work? There's something to understand. Now, second, uncertainty. Meaning, are they getting challenged? Are they creating some kind of stress where they feel they need to grow? Because we cannot eat sugar all the time. We're gonna get sick. You can have your employees all the way and great times, they're gonna get bored. I don't care how great times you are having, if you're not creating some kind of stress, good stress, when they're growing, when you challenge them, they're gonna leave. Now, love. Are you connected with them? In some kind of personal relation? Are they feel connection with you? Are they feel the connection with yourself? The other one is significance. This is the big one. And this is why I would say most of the leaders, they leave their job. I'm talking about leaders right now. Because we all need to have some kind of voice in what we do. We need to know that we are more than just a number. We want to contribute something to the business, more than just a physical job. My opinions, take them in considerations, let them know how great job they are doing it. Because what we do most of the time, right? I'm gonna get you to the office every time you do something wrong. Every time you travel late to work, every time you make a mistake, please come to the office. I need to talk to you. It should be the other way. It should be every time you catch them doing something good, something great, come to the office. Let me congratulate you. Excellent job. Once in a while, do it in front of everybody so everybody notices that, hey, they're doing something great for people that does good things. So you know what? I think I need to do better. Inspire them. This was significant. We want to be recognized for what we do. We all want to be recognized for what we do, not just for our mistakes. Contribution. As I mentioned to you, how are you allow them to contribute to your business a little bit more than just what you hiring them to do? Are you giving them some task outside of the comfort zone? Allow them to maybe fall short, but to try. Allow them to learn. The last one, and this has to do with your whole business. Give. Are you guys in a mission for your community, for your business? In what kind of mission is your business? I know we're in a business of make money, right? But it has to be something greater than just money, as I mentioned to you at the beginning. Because they also influence your customers. Your employees will feel more motivated to come to work because they know that they are doing for something more than just money. We all want more than just money. If you are going to something with one of your employees and you understand why they don't understand you, why they're not following you, why they're stuck in the brain, why they're getting overwhelmed and tired with their job, maybe ask these questions yourself so you can try to understand what he's thinking. And then get to know what he wants. Get to know what is his carrot and the stick, because we all different. Especially in Chicago, we have a diversity of cultures. Huge variety. And we want to manage everybody with the same stick. It's not possible. If you really understand human psychology and then be able to understand their culture, where they're coming from, what they want. Now everybody wants to work 40 hours, now everybody wants to work 25 hours. Some wants more, some wants less. Someone wants to make more money, someone doesn't really care to make more money, just comes to make enough money. If you really get to figure out why are they working with you, why do they want to work with you, it's gonna be easier for you to get them to move. And I'm talking about get pulled, not push. But this is where what I did in my last job. I spent time with my employees, personal, with my leaders. I will sit down with them once a month, once a week sometimes. Depends how we need it. How we doing? What we need to fix? How can we improve this? How can we come up with new ideas? It's time. When you understand that you as a leader is being able to influence them, not to push, to influence them, you're gonna get a lot of more out of your employees. You are going to. But it's learning all these skills of communication, being having integrity. Make sure you have a clear vision and culture, so when they come, they feel welcome. They know where they're standing. Because every time you hire somebody new, you have the opportunity to get the person to adapt to your culture, to your business. If the rest of your team are on the same page as you. But if everybody is on a different mentality, he's gonna take his own mentality too. Now, make sure you are able to measure your goals or wherever you want to change. How are you gonna measure? Because many of us, we just set long goals for the year, but we're not measuring constantly, every month, every week. And how can you measure how happy is your team by the days they are showing up to work? How can you measure that? Now, here is the big one. As I mentioned to you before, how are you celebrating with them? How are you celebrating with them? And this is part of inspire them. And this is something that I used to do at my job, my last job. Every time you catch them doing something great, get them to give you a high five. Every time you see them doing something extraordinary, let them know, I saw what you did. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. Just give me a little palm on the back. Once in a while, maybe a gift card for something, because yes, money is good, money is great. But do extraordinary things for your staff so you can have extraordinary stuff. This is what separates a boss from a leader. Be intentional. Be intentional on everything what you do. Be conscious what you speak, how you say. See the people how they see the people who they can become, not who they are. It is possible. As I say, it's not the staff, it's the leader. And I'm gonna tell you one last thing before we go. And I love this little story about Henry Ford. Henry Ford got sued by a newspaper company from New York. I think it was New York Times. I forgot about it, what company was. But he got sued by the company, saying that he wasn't smart for $1 million. And Ford accepted the challenge, and they went to trial. When they went on trial, the lawyer started asking Henry Ford questions about physics, maths, science, mother nature, Bible, Jesus, variety of questions. To the point where Henry Ford got tired and he's like, I had enough. I'm not gonna be able to answer these questions. I'm sorry, I'm not. But let me tell you the truth. I do not need to know it all. I don't. Do you see all the people over there? They are on my team. I just need to know what button to push. They will give me the right answer that you're asking me. Being a leader is not about you know it all. It's not. It's about surround yourself with people that know and have skills different than you. The right skills for your team. The creator of Apple, same thing. He had the idea, somebody else helped him develop the idea. When you start allowing ideas from your team, you're gonna move faster. And then you're gonna start attracting people that wants to work with you. That's the whole idea of this. It's being able for you to attract the people that wants to work with you, and not you be chasing people that wanted to work with you but not really because they said some things about your stuff. You are gonna attract who you are. What are your beliefs? And this is what I mentioned to you, your energy. If you have a great levels of energy, you have a clear vision, good values, principles, and you know what you're gonna be able to attract everything you want and all the people that you need. Any questions?
It makes me realize the job I had was a very good job.
Yeah.
As the owner did all of these things that you mentioned, and he's very well read, and he did listen to Anthony Robbins, and he did all of those things.
Okay, we appreciate your time. Listen, thank you so much for being here, because we want to take and do things in a different way, but many of us, we just talk about it. There is only few people who actually take the time to take these classes, to look at these videos, and actually learn. And my biggest suggestion for what I have learned is take some kind of action. You don't need to do it all, but as long as you do some small action, you will see some differences. Just pick something from this video and just do it, try it, and measure the results.
I did want to ask you about attracting the people that would be able to help you once you have that level of energy. Do you mean that it would, how would those people arrive? Like potential employees, or are you talking about maybe some other connections that end up working with you? You mentioned the good energy level, and that you would be able to attract the good people.
As I mentioned before in another class, right? The law of magnetism. If you have a clear vision on what you want, it can be contacts, it can be employees, you're gonna attract people. And that goes as simple as you need to hire somebody. If your environment, your business is good and people love to work with you, you don't need to create an ad and, oh my God, it was a long time I was looking for a job. What is the application to look for a job? Craigslist.
Craigslist.
Yeah, Craigslist. Or put a sign on your window. You know why? Because your own stuff is gonna bring you somebody else. They're gonna tell their friends, we are hiring. I think it's a great opportunity for you to come and work with us, to come and join us. This is a great team. We have a great leader who's gonna help you.
That's how it works.
Yeah. That's how it works. That's how you attract the people or things that you want, but it has to be clear on what you want. You levels of energy. People that want to feel inspired by you.
Then let's put this in another way too. As you kind of realized that you needed compassion, but that was before you found Tony Robbins, right?
Compassion. Yes. Actually, I gotta tell you yes. Because, like many of us, I was raised and teach to get people to move by fear. You know, before that, I only knew, and even with my son at some level, you know, I was still thinking, you know, fear is the best way to get people to do things done. And when I start taking this personal development classes, learning about compassion, learning about human behaviors is when I start seeing there is a different way to get people to move, to get people to actually wanted to help us.
So did you try a lot of different personal development classes and then found Tony Robbins to be the best, most applicable to what you were looking for, or was Tony Robbins the only personal development coach that you studied?
So my whole journey with personal development started with I forgot the name of the book who wrote this book, but it was the man who's the monk that sold his red Ferrari.
We'll look it up.
Yeah, the monk that sold his red Ferrari.
The monk that sold his red Ferrari?
Yeah,
Okay.
there was this big lawyer who was trying to find the meaning of life. And this is where it started bringing me to personal development and understanding compassion, human behavior, and kind of like what is the purpose of humans in this planet Earth. I start seeing life in a different way.
So the monk used to be a business person, but then
He was a great lawyer.
mhm.
He was a great lawyer, one of the number one lawyers.
So he became a monk and then he sold his Ferrari.
Yeah.
He didn't need it.
He went to a lot of struggles in his personal life to the point like he figured out that he needed to find himself. He took me to that. He took me to the other, my next person, mentor, right? Is what's his name? Mario. You remember the person that you told me is your mentor?
Jim Rohn.
Jim Rohn.
Jim Rohn teacher,
Yeah.
Tony Robbins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Jim
go to
Rohn was
class,
the
Tony
other
Robbins,
person
I-
that
I
started
go
opening
to
up my
complete all that.
world to this personal development, and that's the one actually who, where I learned the first thing that in order for this to change, you need to change. But I didn't understand to which way in leadership.
So you actually knew the monk too, the lawyer. You not only read about him, but you actually was able to interact with him too, right? Talk with him.
No, I was able to read listen to audio book and put in practice some of the stuff that he was saying.
Mhm.
Yes. And then I went into Tony Robbins words, and now I'm mentoring by Joseph McClellan. He's the guy that I partnered with Tony Robbins, and this is my mentor right now. Joseph McClellan, this is the new encoding part. This is the one that now it helps me to have the confidence and to be able to understand more people's behaviors and being able to help them to move faster to what they want.
So in other words, you learned a lot from Tony Robbins, but you needed a little bit more to apply to the people that you were interacting with, and your mentor now helps you interact with these people that you were kind of stuck on how to best interact with.
Yes. So let me see if I understand clearly. My mentor right now is the one who has given me the strategies and the psychology to be able to act different way. Like this kind of videos, this kind of class, many people get nervous, anxious to do it. And what I have learned with him is how to prepare myself to do this, to not get anxious and nervous. I did not have self-confidence even before COVID. I don't think I have a picture on Facebook of myself. I did not have any self. I struggle with it. I struggle so bad with self-confidence. And now, learning and practicing this, I have gained the confidence to be able to stand up in front of cameras, to do Facebook Live, to talk to people, to stand up out of my comfort zone. Because in order to grow for us, we need to be able to step up, raise our hands, and say, hey, there is There are different ways that how we can do things and how we can achieve things. But it takes some courage. It takes some courage, it takes some love. And I almost forget something really, really important. I am a believer of God. And I know what I have learned and understood now, because this is my kind of my major mentor in life. We all believe in something higher than us, some higher power than us. And what I'm saying this is because what I have learned is that the Bible is a great book of values for people. And many of the successful people, the success are based on the Bible. I'm not talking religious here. I'm not talking religion. Don't take me wrong. I'm not talking religion. I'm talking a personal connection between you and your higher power. This is what I'm talking about here. If you start reading and listening parts or whatever, I'm not a huge reader, but just as Noah, you start to taking out the context of the Bible from religion and apply it in your daily life, you can see a lot of great things. And this is kind of like a part of my biggest mentors. This higher power that I have found in God.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Well, for instance, let's say King David, he had a lot of flaws, so he had to overcome those flaws one at a time.
Who, I'm sorry?
David.
David?
Mhm.
What David? Oh, David?
Yes.
Against-
David and Goliath, and then who became King David, and David and Goliath.
Man, we're talking the same language. Sorry. We are talking the same language. I read the book of him, David against Goliath, and it's an amazing book. And they also talks about how how basically what are the stones, what they represent in real life to use to overcome of real obstacles. This what it is, because David, and he's a great example of leadership. Nobody thought that he could be the leader. Not his father, not his brother, nobody. Let's remember that he was the person that he used to go and watch the gods because he was little. But it was based on his faith and conversation with God, be able to stand up and raise his hand and say, I can deal with this giant. It was his heart. And it was believing in himself and his higher power. And this is, somebody has mentioned this because I'm in a groups also about entrepreneurship, and this is more for owners and managers. Then thank you for the question, because I think this is important too. Many of us, we don't want to be the leader or be the manager because you need to separate from the crowd. You need to separate. And this is what actually David was. He was separated. But when you start separating for people, for you to grow, so and then you can put people with you, it's a different story. And what many of us, we struggle is the separation. Because we don't want to live for friends. We don't want to live for our habits. Humans, like I said, humans need the love, need the connection with other people, but we need to understand in order for us to grow and be a better person, we need to separate. We need to be separated. And it's the process. It's the process for people to become better.
Thank you.
You good?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Jose.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice
Thank
to
you all
see
for watching.
Thank you.